JBN, we keep you informed. Firearm and ammunition seized in Kingston operation. A team of officers assigned to the Kingston Western Police Division seized 1 firearm and 5 rounds of ammunition during an operation on Lincoln Avenue, Kingston 13 yesterday. Reports from the Denhamton Police are that about 8:40 p.m., lawmen were in the area when a premises was searched and 1 9mm pistol containing 5 rounds of ammunition was found under a cushion inside a room. No one is arrested in relation to this seizure. District Constable charged with shooting of teenager. A district constable has been brought before the courts on a charge of wounding with intent in relation to the 2016 shooting injury of a teenager. The Independent Commission of Investigations, INDICOM, said the allegations are that during the chase of an alleged robber, upon seeing 2 males, District Constable Damian Watson discharged his private licensed firearm. The incident took place on April 14, 2016 at Elm Crescent in Kingston. One of the 2 males, a teenager, was shot and taken to the hospital for treatment. The other, an alleged robber, was charged and subsequently placed before the court, but was acquitted by way of no evidence being offered. Watson appeared before the Corporate Area Parish Court on Tuesday and was granted bail in the sum of $350,000 with 1 or 2 sureties. He was ordered to surrender his travel documents and given reporting conditions. Indicom said the matter has been transferred to the committal court for mention on September 4, 2020. 6 guns and ammo seized in Western Jamaica. The security forces in Western Jamaica over the past week, in 4 separate incidents, have recovered 6 weapons, 36 rounds of ammunition, and 6 magazines. Meanwhile, the Kingston Eastern Police, in a joint operation with the JDF in McIntyre Villa, have seized 119 rounds of 9mm ammunition and a magazine in an operation on Wednesday. JMDA president can't confirm if overwork led to intern's death. President of the Jamaica Medical Doctors Association, Dr. Elon Thompson, says there's no confirmation that overwork led to the death of the late Dr. Yakiv. The intern assigned to the Onoto Bay Hospital in St. Mary collapsed last evening while transporting a pediatric patient to the Children's Hospital in Kingston. I can't confirm as to whether he was overworked. There is no confirmation of that. The important thing right now is to try and comfort the relatives. The hospital must be in mourning, and I know they are taking steps to mitigate the mental impact that this will have, Dr. Thompson said. He added, "We have reached out to the hospital. We have reached out to persons who would have been close to the situation, and it's just really a sad time in the medical fraternity for us. This is a young person who has just started their medical career. The entire medical fraternity is in shock. I know him personally. We have no indication that he had any pre-existing illnesses. But it is sudden, and at this time what we're trying to do is to find out how his family and the hospital are coping." But despite Dr. Thompson's assertions, some of Morris's friends say he had been working since Saturday on duty every night. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton also expressed sadness at the passing of Dr. Morris and said the sector is awaiting the results of the autopsy to determine the cause of death. "I've asked for a report to determine what took place. It is very sad, and I offer my condolences to his family members and friends," Dr. Tufton said. St. Elizabeth Northeast MP's hardware robbed of millions. Thieves made off with millions in cash from Levon's Electrical and Hardware in St. Elizabeth, which is owned by outgoing St. Elizabeth Northeastern Member of Parliament, MP Evan Redmond, and his brother. Redmond, who will not be seeking re-election at the September polls, said that thieves priced through a shutter and the doors to enter the establishment sometime between Tuesday night and Wednesday morning. "When I got in just after 7 this morning, I realized that the lock on the grill was cut off, and then after careful examination, I discovered that the padlocks and the shutter were also cut. When we opened the shutter, we realized that the glass door that was behind the shutter, the glass was removed and carefully put aside. They broke a wooden door and cut through a metal door to gain access to the store," Redmond said yesterday. He said the thieves ransacked the hardware's office in search of cash. They went into the vault area and removed it. They took all the cash from Tuesday's sales and any other money that might have been there. We would have had money at the money transfer area. That would have been removed. Change that would have been left with the cashier. Every dime has been removed," he said. Filing cabinets were all turned upside down. It's a total disaster zone, Redman added. The MP was unable to provide an estimated figure for the amount of money stolen. Right now, I can't tell exactly how much, but I know it is a fair amount of money. I am not sure as to the exact figure. It is in the millions. We operate money transfer and we make large payouts on a daily basis, he said. The thieves also took the digital video recorder, DVR, for the closed-circuit television system. Head of the St. Elizabeth Police, Deputy Superintendent Nadia Sims, is appealing for support from business operators in the area. Sometimes they have cameras that are positioned in a direction that can aid the investigation, but until it happens to them, they are sometimes unwilling to come forward. I'm imploring them to come forward and assist us in whatever way they can, she said. In the meantime, Redman is uncertain about how he'll recover from the loss. I don't know how I'm going to bounce back, but I trust the Creator, the one who has helped me for the business to have succeeded to where it has reached, and the same way he helped me to that point. I am sure he'll guide me as to the way to go, whether I pack up business, go home and sit down, or continue business, he said. He said a security firm that was contracted to provide surveillance did not notice the thieves when the alarm system sent out an alert. They got the signal, but the team just came, looked and walked around the building. At that time, the criminals were most likely in the shop. But what they did after going in, they drew down the shutter and closed back the gate, Redmond said. DSP Sims is urging business operators to desist from storing large sums of cash at their establishments. We are still in the preliminary investigation stage in relation to this matter, but what I can say is that there continues to be a lot of money that people leave on their premises instead of transporting some of it to a safer place like a bank. Some of these jobs seem to be people who have knowledge of the setup and operation of these businesses, she said. We continue to work to see how best we can sensitize business persons as well as to provide greater presence. Notwithstanding, it is something that we are challenged with and we continue to work on, DSP Sims added. Witness protection program may need additional funds with the level of cooperation from witnesses and some of them wishing to flee the island upon testifying against criminals. Minister of National Security Dr. Horace Chang says the budget for the state's witness protection program may need to be increased. Witness protection is one of several measures used by the state to shield individuals involved in the criminal justice process who find themselves at risk of serious personal harm as a result. In some extreme cases, the risk to a witness is so great that they may need to be relocated and their identity changed. It's well run. It's an extensive program. We may have to increase our budget because of some people who want to go overseas. But the system itself, without any apology, we run a very good program, Dr. Chang said in a recent interview. Dr. Chang's defense of the Witness Protection Program is one point noted in Chapter 2 of Jamaica's National Security Policy document under the subhead Threats Relating to Crime. In reference to the program, the document states no participant has ever been lost, but there still remains a lack of confidence in the program as witnesses, albeit outside of the program, have been intimidated and have met untimely deaths. Dr. Chang insisted that the real challenge is not the program itself, but the people going into the program. Jamaicans don't like going into witness protection program, especially those associated with gangs. The gangs all have connections nationally, but a number of the witnesses feel that they are strong enough to operate in the community, which sometimes means that they're going back to their ways in a different way. That is the bigger challenge, Dr. Chang stated. Once they come into the program, we have been very successful in managing the situation. We don't need to change the system. What we might need to do is increase the budget, especially with the anti-gang legislation, where we are getting people coming in now, he said in reference to the police in recent months having made a number of arrests of key gang interests, several of whom have also been killed in confrontations with the security forces. Quizzed as to whether these developments have seen more people taking refuge under the program, Dr. Chang said, I can't speak to numbers, but the witness against gangs usually have to be offered some level of security, and the process of getting there is working well. He in the meantime noted that there might be a need to make adjustments on the legislative side to deal with another type of witness. The one area we may need some legal change is when they are convicted already or in the system. The system still has a problem dealing with those individuals. So someone who is convicted but provides critical information that poses a challenge how to deal with them. We may have to look at some legal changes to allow for individuals who have been convicted to be treated in a particular way. In fact, the whole question of plea bargaining has to be examined by the Ministry of Justice, Dr. Chang pointed out. He said discussions are ongoing with the Justice Ministry to examine proposals for the treatment of those individuals. He, however, maintained that the program itself is doing well but needs additional resources. The Ministry of National Security in the 2020-21 estimates of expenditure presented by the government in February was allocated $78 billion for recurrent expenditure and $15.95 billion on the capital side. It also included appropriations in aid of just over $592 million. Appropriations in aid means any revenue that a department collects in the ordinary course of business which has been approved by Parliament to be used by the department. Provision was made for activities that support the costs associated with the Witness Protection Program. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.